Women standing on the shoulders of giants. She is overcoming barriers.
Liangla really made me feel like I was not alone. Deirdre, we really did explore what we really wanted to do in life.
She is driving change.
Liana, she's such an expert. I have huge respect for her. Sophia has done really interesting, really great work with us supporting women in tech.
She is leading by example.
From Sarah, I learned a lot about writing your own story. With Yi Shen, I mentor her because we're both women in a male-dominated industry.
And she is more than a boss.
Kim has shown me that it is possible to do well and still have a life outside of work. With Cheryl, it goes beyond just talking about work all the time.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Fannie Lim. I am the Executive Director at Daughters of Tomorrow.
Force on strike.
I'm also a mother to 3 children. Growing up, my mother was the sole breadwinner. Due to her very limited education, she had to take different odd jobs and just do whatever it takes to raise us. My grandparents didn't allow daughters to pursue education. Most of them had to stay back to take care of their siblings, to do housework. My mom's lack of access to education became like a very strong motivating factor. She's like, I must have all my daughters go through university to have the education that I didn't have. I think I was always quite grateful to my mom. When I first came out to work, I was very fixated about earning money. There was this simplification of like, oh, my family's problems or my parents' marital issues have to do with lack of money. Therefore, if I can earn a lot of money, I can solve their issues. I wanted to give money to my family. I took up a corporate job, did IT sales. As a salesperson, I hit my targets every year.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I got married when I was 28, and then I had my first child when I was 29. I stopped working when my first child came along, and then became a stay-home mom for a good 6 years. I felt like one of the parents should actually put our hands up to take care of our own children. Sometimes I will feel it's a sacrifice because there were some guys that were around my age. We came into the workforce at the same time, and during those 6 years that I was away, they were heading up the company. So they climbed while I took a back seat because I wasn't there.
Just bring that down.
I try to remind myself it's also an investment, building my relationship with my children. I decided to return to work for a very practical reason. Our joint bank account was looking a bit dismal. I started looking around non-profit organizations, wrote into a few, didn't hear back from anyone. When you have stopped work for a while, somehow people discount those years. When you're out of the workforce, it's as though you cease to exist kind of thing. And I remember thinking like, I don't know why people think my brains will be rusty as a stay-home mom. I strategize a lot. And in fact, it's even more intense sometimes, having a few kids. If ever we travel, for example, we take a flight, I remember managing my toddler's eating schedule. I roughly want to book this flight so that he'll be sleeping, or, I'll feed him the snacks first so that he's not cranky. Finally, a friend thought of me when she heard of the opening at Daughters of Tomorrow and then linked me up to the founder. Daughters of Tomorrow sets out to facilitate accessible and sustainable livelihood opportunities for women from lower income communities, hopefully to build upon the social mobility for their families, and somewhere down the line is becoming financially independent. So I came to Daughters of Tomorrow firstly as a volunteer on a stipend. After a few months, the organization could hire me on a part-time basis, and I became the employer engagement manager. Subsequently, I moved on as the head of programs, and now, I'm the ED.
The number of women that we have targeted.
Accessing livelihood opportunities. As an executive director, I set the direction for the organization. I work with my team to achieve the milestones that we set to create the impact that we want. I'm involved in fundraising, operations, and the HR aspect of developing people. When I made the call to full-time, was a little challenging because that meant that I can no longer tell people when I wanted to play board games with my son, for example. Whereas previously, I felt like, okay, I'm part-time stay-home mom, I'm part-time working indoors. I could still kind of have it all.
After that, I'll start folding.
One thing that gave me a lot of confidence in this transition is my husband. When I was a stay-home mom, he went for his master's and he kind of recognized that, hey, you know, I had that season of time where I supported him. He feels that this is now my season to step up. He's still working, but he holds the fort at home more, enabling me to go out and do what I need to do. Mothers are caregivers, but I think we all need to realize, hey, everybody can play a part. I think it starts from home. And I think it's very important to show my children that, you know, the father can do laundry, the father can do dishes, the father can cook. The struggles that I had to go through when I transited mostly is the guilt of not being there, which I think over time I have come to see that perhaps sometimes it's all right to let go and the children will grow up fine. Since I took on the leadership role, what keeps me awake at night? Thinking how complex the issues are, how many women might be facing some abusive environments and therefore are in need of assistance. At least once a month, I will break down and cry because it's just so much. It sometimes feels so overwhelming. Working in a corporate job, previously, you know, I work so hard, I can hit my target, yay, you know. This one is like, I work so hard, yet the problem feels a little insurmountable at times. Leading this non-profit requires a lot more than just strategizing. It really requires my whole person of being in it. Thankfully, I have a very supportive board of directors. Many of them have valuable experience and skill sets. In particular, my board president, Kim Underhill.
Especially women with younger children. Because they see the similarity, but then...
One of the first few advice she gave me was relax, have fun, take it easy. Now, you wouldn't expect this from my board president, who is sort of like my boss, right? It's like, huh? Take it easy. But you realize there is wisdom in that because you've got to be okay before you can lead the charge. It's that aeroplane announcement. Put on that mask on yourself before you help another. I'm here to see Kim. I usually come on average maybe once a month. Sometimes to get her to sign things, some work matters, but usually just to hang out.
She's one person is go. That's how she comes across. She's a very task-oriented person. Anything that needs to be done, you just pass it to her and you get done.
One of my challenges is actually to balance my responsibility and also remember, enjoy the journey. Don't just be so zoomed in on like the outcome. I think the other thing that she value added is how to manage people as well.
It's about how to help her soften her approach. When you start building the relationship with your team, you don't have to worry about whether they're going to deliver the job or not.
Yeah, because like Kim says, at the end of it, when you take care of people, people will take care of the business for you.
I've definitely seen the growth. She doesn't have to come to me as often as she used to. Sometimes I just sit there, she doesn't need me anymore. You know, the little thought, because it's a good thing that she's now found her own way.
Maybe I might not be looking her up physically every so often now, but her voice comes to my mind.
That mentor-mentee relationship has actually blossomed into a friendship. Plus, there's a lot of mutual respect.
She has shown me that it is possible to be serious about work, to do well, and still have a life outside of work. It's still, I think, a constant balancing act. But thankfully, because I see her ahead, you know that, okay, it's possible.
Some people call me aggressive,
Okay, rolling.
but I'm always very loving. Hi, my name is Kim Underhill. I'm a grandmother of 2 adorable young girls and mother of 2 children. I retired 4 years ago. Today, I'm a management consultant and executive coach, working mostly with women. In the last 7 years, I've worked with several women organizations to support women advancement in both personal as well as career growth. I met Fannie through Daughters of Tomorrow. I was sitting next to the founder 7 years ago, and she invited me to volunteer as a trainer for their confidence curriculum. After about maybe 18 months, I was invited to become the president. Today, we're going to talk about coaching, mentoring, and sponsoring. It takes a lot of time, effort, and commitment for leaders to work with individuals on a one-on-one basis. I left school at the age of 15 to help with family finances. My first job was a sales girl in a boutique before I went into learning how to type. And I was lucky enough to get a job as a clerk. Because without certification, I have to work very, very hard. When I was 30 years old, I worked for an Englishman as his PA. After working for him for a year, he asked me, why don't you go back to school? So during that time, I was a single mother raising 2 young kids. I need income to put food on the table. And what he did later was surprise me and change my life actually was he got the company to sponsor me to do my certification since I don't have O-level.
I saw in you, given the opportunity, if you wanted it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm quite blessed in the sense that I have my mother supporting me. I was able to focus on work. And 6 years night school. I went from being a PA to customer service and then eventually doing sales and marketing. By the time he retired 10 years later, I was already a business development director.
When Kim walks in a room, you feel it.
What I want to share is how I started in corporate. My first office job, I was just a typist, serving a lot of male colleagues. By the time I left, I was managing Fortune 500 key account. Sharing my story may motivate someone for probably a week. To really change somebody's life, I have to be involved. I think mentoring doesn't stop at just a career. I have to first understand their personal background, their family situation, because if you have too much going on in your personal life, if you cannot get the balance within your family household, you will not be able to focus on your career. Right? I have to also help them resolve some of their personal challenges first. Daughters of Tomorrow, yes, correct. Once that is settled and in peace of mind, then they will be able to pursue what they want to pursue in terms of growing even themselves as well as their career.
Oh, that's a great idea, Sophia.
Yes.
The one message I tell all the women I met is it is important to ask for help. We need all the support we can get.
Get a grip, Nana.
With a community, you will find all kinds of resources that's available. If you look at Daughters of Tomorrow, we have a child minding network. So let's say, for instance, women looking for a job. They have a young child. If they have befriended some of the mothers in the neighborhood, they will be able to tap on them to look after their kids. Fannie has taken Daughters of Tomorrow to the next level. She has found her own way on how to manage people. I'm very proud, to say that I'm her mentor because watching her grow in her journey and into her role as a person, not just as the executive director of Daughters of Tomorrow. I think what Fannie has done is very similar to what I have done, coaching and mentoring through listening and understanding people.
When I first got to know Fannie, I remember thinking, wow, this woman is very put together. She's very on. And then I found out that she was a mom of 3. And I'm like, how is she functional? She works so hard. I remember thinking to myself like, oh, she's a very good role model. She's very nurturing. She's very motherly. For me,
Very naggy.
a bit,
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it's a bit naggy, but I'm also very naggy, so it's okay.
She is this bundle of energy. Okay, if you are from my era of cartoon, right, this roadrunner, the beep beep, you know, that one that run very fast, she's literally that kind of speed. You know, at home, at work, you know, that.
Thanks, Maggie.
It's interesting to see Cheryl transition. Maybe it's a woman thing, I don't know. Sometimes you're not so confident. She had her moments where she was hesitant to step up. She had different concerns. What I do is just listen. Sometimes you need somebody to be telling you, you just need to maybe grow in this area a little bit more and sharpen this side a bit more.
Oh, what would my kids say about me? Loud. I'm Cheryl Chen. I work at Daughters of Tomorrow in fundraising and events management, and I'm a mom of 2. I try to get up before 6, and then I have to drop off my daughter. And then after I drop her off, then I drop off my son. I will try to do a run at least 2 to 3 times a week if I can. I did accounting in university, but I never felt that it was my calling or it was something that I wanted to do. Shortly after I graduated, I realized that I really didn't want to work in accounting. So I was trying to figure out my footing, and I kind of fell into hospitality by accident and ended up working at a 5-star hotel in Singapore. I was very eager, I was young, I was very motivated. I was identified very young as having potential. So I was one of the youngest team members that was promoted to managerial level very, very early. I was with the company for a good 7 years until I got married and had kids. It was a really tough decision for me to leave because I really did enjoy my work, but I really wanted to be there for my daughter. I had gone through like days that I didn't see her. I think honestly, moving back from working full-time to becoming a stay-at-home mother was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And you also put a lot of pressure on yourself because like, I'm at home, I can do this, I can do that. And the pressure plus the constant needs from your children, it's really, really exhausting. My daughter, she was just like over a year old when we moved to the US. And after about 2.5 years, I decided, you know, it's time for us to come back to Singapore. But my husband was going to stay because he had an opportunity in California. Shortly after we moved back, I found out that I was pregnant with my son. It came to a shock to all of us, and it kind of threw us for a loop because I expected to come back to Singapore and be able to get a job pretty easily. It just was a really hard time for me, not having any income, being pregnant with my second child. And I was kind of lost about what to do, but I was really lucky because I moved back in with my parents and they were incredibly supportive. I still knew a lot of people in the industry, and I was asking around. I'm like, hey, you know, I'm looking for work. Are you guys hiring? But the general consensus that came back was that, oh, come to us after you've delivered. I don't want to say that opportunities were not offered to me because I was pregnant. I don't want to make that assumption. You do get more tired when you're pregnant, and of course you do have maternity leave after the child is born. So I can understand why a company would be wary about hiring a woman that's pregnant. It's just a very difficult place for a woman to be when she finds herself pregnant and basically needs the income. So after, you know, asking around and not being able to find employment, I decided that I was going to pursue my master's in counseling. So I was looking at various organizations that I could volunteer at to do my practicum, and that's when I found Daughters of Tomorrow. I started volunteering with their befriender program. And then after 6 months, an employment opportunity opened up in the corporate team, and that's how I joined the organization that way. About one of our women's story, Natalia. When I found Daughters of Tomorrow, their mission statement resonated with me. I'm always reminded that how blessed I am that I had family support when I needed it.
Pay now her as well, so if you want cookies.
I think there's always going to be some kind of stereotypes against working moms, like their attention is diverted, or they're not able to pull as many hours. But I absolutely believe that there are employers out there that are making conscious decision to support mothers in their journey back to the workplace. We've seen multiple employers now that have said, okay, we will accommodate and understand the value of hiring a mother because she also brings in a whole set of special talents and be truly a value to the organization.
When you treat people well, people will treat you well. Sometimes even if you can pay well, that might not buy you loyalty. But when you treat people well, it definitely will make it a lot harder for people to leave you. Let's have a longer term planning and take it as you are investing in the well-being of this mother, for example, on maternity. And when they come back a lot stronger.
I think that understanding that like a woman does need to make time for her kids, but her work is going to be done. And I think that having that kind of trust, it makes a world of difference. Fannie, she's always given me that safe space to be able to do that. And I will never take that for granted. That's the kind of manager that I hope that I can be one day, that I'm able to see in people potential. I want to be able to reach out to someone and say like, I understand, I trust you, this is what I need, and just get it done in your own time and your own place, and to have that ability to just let go.
You have got a lot of good things going for you. You know, you're so driven and all of that. I am longing to see the moment where you are not hindering yourself to blossom even further.
To me, it's very important to help another person grow. So I always say baby steps. Push them a little bit along the way to pursue what they want to pursue.
It's so important, to have someone that believes in you, that sees potential in you when you don't. And I think as women, to be able to build each other up really makes such a big difference.
As leaders, I think we recognize the potential. We just listen and extend support where it's needed. Sometimes you need somebody to be like telling you, hey, actually you can do it, you're doing great.
We give each other a hug. Oh, I'm a hug person.